Under the cold glow of the studio lights, the air feels taut, almost too silent to be comfortable. Every whisper dies. Every shuffle halts. The red camera light blinks, signaling that they are live. At the center of the table, two figures sit across from each other. Stephen Miller leans forward, jaw tight, fingers drumming on the desk like a man rehearsing control before the storm. He appears confident, perhaps overly so. Every smirk, every subtle lean conveys that he intends to dominate the moment. Across from him sits Jasmine Crockett, still, composed in a way that unsettles him. Her quiet is not weakness. It is deliberate, the kind of calm that traps the overconfident, the kind that turns all noise into background. For a long, tense second, nothing moves. No word, no breath. Even the air seems to pause. Then a low, steady voice slices through the stillness. Every interruption has a breaking point. Tonight, his would be exposed. Crockett tilts her head slightly, scanning the table, her notes. In her eyes, Miller sees calculation. Quiet, certain. She clears her throat. She has already mapped the space between arrogance and collapse. Miller clears his throat, adjusts his microphone, straightens his tie. He looks like a man preparing to command, but control is fragile. It only lasts until someone refuses to let you hold it. The moderator begins to speak, but the room's energy has shifted. There is an edge in the silence, a weight in the waiting. Everyone feels it. Something is about to snap. The tension tightens, almost invisible, yet impossible to ignore. And then, for a heartbeat, the future leaks into the present. Crockett's voice echoes faintly from somewhere ahead in time. I was waiting for you to finish being wrong. The words hang in the air like smoke. Everything fades to black. 12 minutes earlier. The debate begins quietly. Too quietly. No fire yet, only the spark of expectation. Jasmine Crockett adjusts her microphone and begins to speak. Calm, controlled, deliberate. Her words align like arrows. Clean, factual, precise. She does not rush. She does not perform. She simply lays out truth like evidence being presented. For a moment, Miller listens or pretends to. Then, before her second sentence can land, he cuts in. The sound of his voice slices through her thought. Confident and loud, like a man attempting to claim a battlefield not his own. He smiles while interrupting as if dominance can masquerade as charm. The audience shifts subtly. A few lean forward. One coughs. Another folds their arms. They have seen this before. They know what is coming. Crockett stops speaking mid-word. She doesn't argue. Doesn't roll her eyes. She just blinks once. Slow, steady, like a computer processing interference for a heartbeat. The space between them feels electric. Then she nods, letting him continue. It's not surrender, it's strategy. He talks over her, making his points, circling himself in his own echo chamber. But the calm on her face doesn't fade. In fact, it deepens. And that's what starts to bother him. She isn't reacting. She isn't playing the game. She clears her throat, watching him dig his own rhetorical hole one sentence at a time. The moderator clears his throat, awkwardly trying to restore balance. But Miller isn't finished. He cuts in again, voice rising slightly, hand motioning toward her as if to silence her without saying it outright. That's the second cut. The audience feels it. And Crockett, she feels it too. But still, she doesn't fight back. Not yet. Her silence stretches longer this time. The camera catches her expression, still calm, but the corners of her mouth twitch just enough to say, I see exactly what you're doing. She finally speaks, her voice even lower than before. Measured, precise. Every word lands with the weight of someone who knows interruptions are temporary, but truth is not. May I finish? She says, not pleading, not asking, just asserting. Her tone isn't about permission. It's about reclaiming space. Miller smirks. He leans back, gesturing casually like he's being generous. Go ahead, he says, pretending patience. She continues where she left off, unshaken. Her sentences are smoother now, more pointed. There's rhythm in her logic, the kind of rhythm that makes the next interruption inevitable. And sure enough, before she reaches her next point, he does it again. That's the third cut. This time, a few audience members react audibly. Soft groans, whispers. Even a quiet letter from the back, but Miller doesn't hear it. He's too busy hearing himself. Crockett stops again. Her eyes stay on him, unwavering. Not angry, just watchful. The kind of gaze that says, You've mistaken my silence for weakness. That's about to change. The moderator shifts in his seat, glancing between them like a referee who knows the fight hasn't even started yet. He gives a small nod to Crockett as if silently saying, "Take it back." She does. Her voice returns steady, but colder now. Not sharp, not loud, just controlled. You can hear the shift, the transformation from patience to precision. Clears throat. "Mr. Miller," she says, her tone formal, deliberate. "I'll respond when you're done talking to yourself." The audience freezes for a split second. No one breathes. Then a murmur ripples through the room. Clears throat. Miller stiffens. His practiced grin falters just for a moment. He wasn't expecting resistance this calm, this calculated. She doesn't look at him again. Not right away. She turns slightly toward the moderator, her voice back to that composed tone. "As I was saying," she continues, "some of us were actually sent here to discuss solutions, not sound bites. It's the kind of line that doesn't raise volume. It raises impact. The kind that hits harder because it doesn't try to." Miller opens his mouth. Maybe to interrupt again, but the energy in the room has changed. The crowd isn't with him anymore. They've started to notice the pattern. The camera pans slowly, her composure versus his control, her silence versus his noise. And in that contrast, the story begins to tell itself. The first cut wasn't just his interruption. Clears throat. It was the moment he underestimated the woman who could turn interruption into ammunition. Clears throat. Because Crockett doesn't need to shout to win. She only needs to wait for the exact second to win. Silence hurts more than words. The room breathes heavy. You can feel it. The crowd leaning in, the air getting thicker. What started as a debate has turned into something more delicate, a test of composure. Stephen Miller adjusts his papers, buying himself a few seconds of control. He looks across the table at Jasmine Crockett, who hasn't moved since her last line. She's still, but not the stillness of hesitation, stillness of dominance. The kind of quiet that says, "I'm not reacting. I'm recording." He mistakes it for hesitation. That's mistake number one. The moderator tries to steady the moment. "Congresswoman Crockett, please continue." She nods once, calm as ever. "Thank you." Her voice lands soft but confident. She begins again, talking about accountability, evidence, process. Each word is measured, grounded. Her delivery is steady like a surgeon making an incision. But before her point completes, he cuts her off again. Clears throat. That's the fourth interruption. This time it's faster, sharper, a reflex. He leans forward, hand raised slightly, his tone dripping with forced politeness. "Let me correct you there, but it's not correction, it's control. It's the same old trick. Cut the rhythm before it becomes undeniable." Crockett stops mid-sentence, not because she's lost her place, but because she wants him to hear the sound of himself talking. It's the oldest power move. Let arrogance echo long enough to expose itself. He keeps going louder now, piling words like bricks in a wall, but no one's climbing it. The moderator glances at him, then clears throat at her. You can see the realization spreading. This isn't balance. It's a spectacle. Miller gestures again, voice quick, breath short, his own rhythm betraying him. Clears throat. Every sentence he fires sounds less like a point, more like a defense mechanism. Crockett folds her hands on the table, fingers interlaced, eyes locked on him. She doesn't blink. She doesn't flinch. Every inch of her body language says, "Are you done yet?" But he doesn't stop. He interrupts again. That's the fifth time. Clears throat. The audience murmurs now softly at first, then louder. You can feel the discomfort ripple across the room. This isn't confidence anymore. It's insecurity in disguise. The moderator tries again. Let's allow Representative Crockett to respond. But Miller pushes through even that, cutting the moderator off mid-sentence. His tone grows impatient. No. Let me finish this. And just like that, the illusion cracks. The control he's been clinging to gone. The crowd can feel it. The cameras can see it. He's no longer leading the exchange. He's revealing himself. Crockett's gaze doesn't move. She breathes once, slow, deliberate, and then finally speaks. Are you finished? Her tone is flat, polite, almost kind, but beneath it there's iron. The moderator turns toward her, caught between protocol and awe. She continues, her voice never rising. You've interrupted me 5 times now, Mr. Miller. That's 5 missed chances to listen. Clears throat. The crowd hums, half reaction, half admiration. He opens his mouth to respond, but she's already reclaimed the moment. She straightens in her chair. Her composure has weight now. You can feel it pressing back against the noise. You see, she says, interruption isn't strength. It's fear dressed up as confidence. The air shifts. The moderator's eyes widen slightly. Even the cameraman hesitates before zooming closer because this is no longer a debate. It's an autopsy. Miller tries to interject again, but the sound dies in his throat. Her timing is immaculate. She speaks right through his attempt, her tone unbroken. That's the thing about control, she continues. You can fake it for a while, but eventually it starts talking louder than your logic. The audience breaks into soft applause, hesitant, then growing. Crockett doesn't look at them. She doesn't need validation. The silence after her words is the validation. Clears throat. She glances toward the moderator, then back to Miller. Her expression hasn't changed since the beginning. Calm, grounded, certain. He shifts in his seat, the smirk fading now. For the first time, his body language betrays uncertainty, hand tapping faster, eyes darting to the camera, then away. He interrupts one more time. A short, desperate attempt to claw back control, but this time she doesn't stop. Her voice cuts clean through his, not louder, just steadier. She finishes her sentence without breaking eye contact. The room goes still. No sound, no movement, just the quiet power of a woman who refuses to be silenced. And then the voice-over returns, calm, reflective, certain. He thought talking over her would keep him on top. But control isn't volume, it's discipline. And the louder he spoke, the more everyone else started listening to her. The camera pans across the audience. Some whisper, some shake their heads. Phones are raised now. Someone's already streaming. The clip that will go viral tomorrow is being recorded right now. Crockett sits back, folds her notes, and looks at Miller for the first time with something close to pity. He looks back, trying to hold eye contact, but it slips like sand through fingers. And just before the moderator moves to the next question, her eyes narrow slightly. It's not anger, it's clarity. The kind of look that says, "You've played your pattern. Now I'll play mine." Because from this point forward, silence will not be his weapon. It will be hers. Something changes in the air. It's not loud, not visible, but everyone feels it. That invisible thread between tension and collapse tightens just a little more. Stephen Miller clears his throat. He's talking again, faster now, layering point after point, like someone trying to build a wall before the storm hit. His words start blending together. Force without focus. Across from him, Jasmine Crockett doesn't move. Clears throat. Her eyes follow him the way a tide studies a rock. Patient, certain it will wear down. He interrupts her for the 4th time. It isn't even subtle anymore. He leans in mid-sentence, cutting her clean off, hands slicing the air like punctuation. His voice rises. No, that's simply not accurate. And there it is, the shift. Because this time she doesn't blink. She exhales slow and precise like someone timing their heart with a rhythm of chaos. Then she straightens. The movement is small. A few inches of posture, but it redefines the room. Her shoulders square. Her gaze locks. Every camera angle recalibrates around her. She lets him talk and talk and talk until even he starts to hear the echo of his own voice. Then she says, calm and clear, "Stephen, I understand interruption. It's what happens when truth makes people nervous." The room freezes. It isn't just what she said. It's how she said it. No volume, no venom, just truth delivered with surgical precision. Miller opens his mouth, ready to counter, but no words come out. He stammers, blinks twice, shifts in his seat. The mask of certainty slips for half a second, and that's all she needs. The moderator glances up, startled. He was about to step in, but now he doesn't dare. He knows this isn't his moment anymore. The audience reacts in waves, quiet gasps, then murmurs, then stillness again. Even the crew behind the cameras freeze, eyes darting toward one another as if silently agreeing. Keep rolling. Crockett doesn't move. She doesn't press the advantage. She just sits there, the calm in the middle of someone else's unraveling. When she finally speaks again, her tone is lighter, almost conversational. "I'm not here to outtalk you, Stephen. I'm here to outlast you." That line lands differently. It doesn't just silence him. It humbles the space. The crowd feels it. The cameras capture it. Even the lights seem to dim, as if the room itself wants to listen. He tries to smile, to shake it off with forced humor. But the rhythm is gone. Confidence has become noise. Noise has become background. And she has become the focus. Her eyes narrow slightly. See, the thing about control, she says softly, is that real control doesn't interrupt. It waits. The moderator sits back, almost relieved that someone has finally said it out loud. Crockett looks down at her notes, not to check them, but to let silence do the rest. It's the kind of silence that burns, the kind that exposes more than any statement could. For the first time, Miller looks unsettled. He glances at the moderator, then at the audience, searching for something. Approval, rescue, anything. Clears throat. But the energy in the room has shifted. He's no longer the center. She is. The camera captures the transformation. Not dramatic, not cinematic, but inevitable.